Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Fantastic program for you. Today is January 29th. A lot of information to get out to you. We are going to be talking about a drum blitz. That's right, a drum blitz. We're also going to be talking about speckled trout, dead and alive. Amazing footage you're going to see of speckled trout that are not dead. We're going to go over sea surface temperatures. We're also, the WRC has a public meeting. The Wildlife Resources Commission has a public meeting coming up about speckled trout. And you can attend, or you can at least eavesdrop in on Zoom. And we're going to talk all about that. But let's jump right on into it. What we have here is Jeanette's Pier. Listen to this. Jeanette's Pier says that there's 2 schools of large drum there. I'm showing you some pictures right now that not only are they catching them off of the pier, but look at those surf fishermen. They are catching these drum right beside, out of the surf, right beside Jeanette's Pier. Water temperatures, 39 degrees. As of yesterday, January 28th, 39 degrees. And for those who have been watching the program recently, that's the magic number for speckled trout. Once you go underneath 39 degrees, the cold stun and cold stun kill occur. But does that bother Mr. Drum? Evidently not. So they're doing very, very well. I wanted to show this to you as well. This is from the North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries. I love this picture. It says, while surf fishing on Outer Banks, they don't say exactly where, with his dad, 17-year-old Dylan caught a healthy 25-inch red drum that was tagged 4 months prior by the North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries. So that's a catch and recapture. 4 months later, they release the fish. And as they say, will you be the next angler to catch Dylan's fish? I love stories like that. It gets even better about this drum blitz on the Outer Banks. This is from Jerry Brewer on OBX Fishing. By the way, I can't speak highly enough about the Facebook page OBX Fishing. Just go look that up. They're spot on with their reports and pictures and videos and all sorts of things. So please go to OBX Fishing. But look at this. It says, congratulations to 84-year-old Edith McKean. She was in on the bite on Ramp 55. Ooh, we got a location. This morning caught 8-7 released. She was fishing jigs on an 8-foot century trout rod I had built herself several years ago. That had to be fun. That's Jerry Brewer. Now, this is what I want to get into. You may recall on prior shows, we read to you the comment from the Wildlife Resources Commission, which is in charge of inland waters. The North Carolina Division of Marine Fisheries is in charge of coastal and joint waters. Once you get up in the head ends of the creeks, the Wildlife Resource Commission is in charge of, and they said that they do not have the authority to issue proclamations to close our season. But this is, our agency is required to go through a rulemaking process as outlined in the North Carolina Administrative Procedures Act. Well, this coming February 5 and 6, they are meeting, the Wildlife Resources Commission's meeting, and they are having a public comment period. They will be talking about speckled trout. Will they close the inland waters to speckled trout? Will they do anything? What's the rulemaking? Well, here's your opportunity to get up with them and watch. You can do it via Zoom, or you can attend in person. I contacted the Wildlife Resources Commission again, and I asked them a couple of questions. I did this I always do it in an email, so I have documented proof, and we're showing that to you right now. I said, will speckled trout be discussed in their meeting on the 5th, which is in between, about fisheries, in between 10 and 11 a.m.? Yes, the speckled trout will be discussed at their meeting. Then I asked, will there be a public comment period? And they said there will be a formal public comment period if the commission initiates rulemaking. So I guess evidently they don't have to initiate rulemaking. I said, what is the address room number for folks who want to attend in person? The address is 1751 Varsity Drive, Raleigh. However, I recommend attending virtually just based on the size of the room, which is very limited seating. Will the Zoom link be emailed to those who register? Again, these are the questions I asked the Wildlife Resources Commission. They said info will be sent to the email address used to register. Go to the Wildlife Resources Commission. I've been showing you pages. I'll probably get the link up. You can register online for the meeting, a Zoom meeting as well. They'll send you confirmation back. And I got any information on the upcoming meeting you can give would be greatly appreciated. And they said there should be an agenda posted soon. So the Wildlife Resources Commission, you got an opportunity to at least eavesdrop in on the meeting that's going to happen on February 5th from 10 to 11 a.m. You can attend in Raleigh. I know Wake County, by the way, has the greatest number of North Carolina saltwater fishing licenses. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of folks in the CCA of North Carolina is based out of their headquarters is in North Carolina. So I'm sure that's going to be well attended, but you can sit at home on Zoom and take a look. You are looking at the latest sea surface temperatures from Rutgers University. And by the way, before we get into everything, just Google it. Sea surface temperatures, Rutgers University. This is free. This doesn't cost anything. And they put out 6, 10, maybe even more images a day. So you can access this free. You may recall we were just talking about up in the Nags Head area that the beach water temperatures were 39 degrees, and that's consistent with what we're seeing right here. And that's where those 2 schools of drum are, up in that cooler area. Also keep in mind, for the past month, maybe 2 months, we've been talking about during the wintertime, December, especially January and February, the warmest beach waters are going to be in between the Point of Hatteras and Cape Lookout. Is what's known as Raleigh Bay. And as you can see there, that those water temperatures are probably 20 degrees cooler than what's happening on the North Beach of the Outer Banks. So in that real orangey water you see is the Gulf Stream. So this is the latest seawater surface temperatures. That cold water will continue to wrap around Hatteras, go on down Ocracoke, down towards Portsmouth Island before it starts retracing back up around the end of the end of February, 1st of March. And by the way, just as a little heads up, usually around the first week, second week in April, third week in April, places like Bogue Banks, you'll see your beach water temperatures jump up like 5-7 degrees in 1 week as the Labrador Current migrates on further north and the Gulf Stream starts moving on in. One final thing, that the orangey area, the Gulf Stream that you see here, that dark orange, there'll be finger eddies that'll reach off of that and go into the Raleigh Bay area. So watch for those very, very warm waters. By the way, isn't it interesting that the big bluefin tunas, which are still being caught, are liking that cold water just like the red drum are, but the speckled trout at 39 degrees, as we know, is when they get cold stunned. Isn't that interesting? One final look at these sea surface temperatures. Now, I want to show this to you. Captain George Beckworth. I've known George for over 30 years. I've done several TV shows with him. George is now based out of Carter County, the mountains of North Carolina, and I think Costa Rica. He's all over the place. I like George a lot. George posted some video. He's in the water with the speckled trout. Take a look at this. All right, George says they are not all dead, but having a hard time. About 30 specks and a few red drums, several dead trout now at Newbern. He was in Newbern area where he shot that. And just keep in mind, during these cold stun events, the speckled trout, well, the colder the water, the more lethargic they become. It's true with any fish. So that's how George was able to walk on up on these fish. You know, I thought I had... Let's see what I got here. I've had all this stuff sitting up here. Well, there's George's little Facebook page. But the fish get real lethargic, so George was able just to walk on up. You saw how slowly those speckled trout were moving. Want to show you this. This is Joe Lee Lewis from NC Speckled Trout Fishing. That's also a Facebook page. Take a look at this. It's video. He's catching and release speckled trout in the 6-pound range. Take a look. That was Josh Reynolds, by the way, the North Carolina speckled trout fishing. He said the water temperature was 44 to 46 degrees. So obviously he didn't get down to that magic mark of 39, 38 degrees. I did want to make sure that Joe Lee Lewis to show this poor little gray trout dead everywhere in Morehead City and Beaufort. We heard about that reported about that around Radio Island and Beaufort a couple of days ago. But take a look real close at these pictures. It's not just gray trout that are dead. You even see pinfish that I can make out that are also dead. So, folks, there are videos all over the place, pictures all over the place. I highly recommend OBX fishing and also North Carolina speckled trout fishing. If you want to go see pictures and video of things going around, people keep sending me that website, Facebook page with the drone footage of dead trout. And all he says is North Carolina. I don't even know if it's North Carolina, so I haven't shown that. I do want to leave you with this. The Dogfish Tournament, February 1st at Johnny Mercer Pier, Wrightsville Beach. Also, Dogfish Tournament in Seaview Pier, just right there at Sneads Ferry on February 15th. I love things like this because February is generally our worst month, our coldest month here in North Carolina. So I really like the fact that folks are out there doing something to bring people on down to go fishing. Attend the Wildlife Resources Commission meeting if you can. Go on Zoom and watch it. If you have an opportunity for input, please take advantage of it. And I will leave you with my personal editorial comment right now when it comes to speckled trout. Yes, the Division of Marine Fisheries through proclamation closed the fishery, which is coastal waters and joint waters. Right now, the inland waters through the Wildlife Resources Commission is open. That's the head ends, and that's basically the areas that these fish the speckled trout are overwintering. My personal opinion is this: leave them alone. Give them a chance. We don't know how many are going to die. That's just my personal opinion. If you feel the need to go out there and hammer them right now, that's your prerogative. You can legally do it. But I would highly encourage just to leave them alone. And the reason why the division closed it and doesn't, as it stands right now, could change through proclamation again. As it stands right now, the speckled trout fishery in North Carolina and the coastal and joint waters won't open back up till June 15th. And the reason why is to give these fish a chance to spawn. That's a great idea. Anyway, I'm Bill Hitchcock. If you've got information that you can send to me, billhitchcock@mail.com, billhitchcock@mail.com. By the way, I've had several people try to send me through instant messenger and things like that. Oftentimes it doesn't come through. And another thing, these TV shows, our shows have been posted on a lot of different websites. I've posted some Facebook pages and all. Don't respond there for me, because that's not my site. Go to either YouTube, post something, or email me direct, billhitchcock@mail.com, so I can get that information, or I know at least you've been trying to get up with me. That's all for now. Till next time, see ya.
Post your questions, comments, and concerns here on YouTube, or email them directly to Bill Hitchcock at this address.